So it is now time for us to do some business. My name is Kweku Temin, but if you're just joining us, you're still live on News 360. Let's start straight with something from the commodities market. And here, gold is expected to see a further drop as the U.S. Federal Reserve prepares to announce plans to increase interest rates before close of 2015. Analysts warns this can introduce a new wave of pressure on the Ghana cedi. TV3 has been interacting with some economists on the implications of this on the Ghanaian economy. Gold price has slumped on the world market because of mounting speculations that U.S. interest rates will climb this year, curbing the appeal of bullion since it doesn't pay interest like competing assets. The U.S. Federal Reserve is holding a two-day meeting which ends Wednesday, at which policy makers are expected to provide further indications of a possible rate increase later this year. The gold market is therefore set to remain on the decline, especially as major economies like China and Europe, major buyers have recorded lower GDP growth. Analysts tell TV3 the trend could have a rippling effect by introducing new shocks to the Ghanaian economy.
As gold price declines, it's also hitting government revenue. It's hitting employment figures because gold employs a lot of hands, and once gold price declines, it hits the top line of these gold mining firms, and then they would have to, reshuffle the pack in terms of the labor they employ.
They urged government to introduce policies that will enable manufacturers add quality to Ghana's raw materials.
If you try to refine our gold, one, it will help us to relatively reduce the impact of volatility on the world market on us, as well as increasing our reserves as well. The long-term perspective will help shore up the cedi and make it stronger against the external currencies.
If we are able to add value to these products and export them in value-added forms, then it increases the pool. Then it again moves the market and the economy away from, relying on one single channel, but into a bit more diverse channels of inflow.
In other stories, a U.S. presidential ambassador for global entrepreneurship, Steve Case, has observed although there are unfavorable policies that inhibit businesses on the African continent, there is governmental will to change them. Now, speaking to TV3, he hinted the most important thing is to implement policies that are entrepreneur-friendly, especially for small and medium-scale enterprises.
Steve Case, who attended the just-ended Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Kenya, was in Accra to promote entrepreneurship in the private sector. The visit to SMS Ghana and Dignity DTRT in Accra by Jean and Steve Case was to inspire entrepreneurs, expand networks, and increase deal flow between private investors and entrepreneurs. The visit by the presidential ambassadors for global entrepreneurship aims at accelerating the development of the entrepreneurship culture in Ghana. According to Steve Case, Accra is a promising entrepreneurial ecosystem in West Africa and proof that Africa is open for business.
There is the will to change. I would not say it's evenly distributed across Africa, nor would I say with any particular country it's evenly distributed. There are pockets that are more interested in the change. You've got to figure out a way to make sure the policies in each country are in place that are supportive of starting companies and growing companies.
SMS Ghana, a technology company established 10 years ago, builds and manages mobile cloud for 35,000 organizations and 20 million people in Ghana, Kenya, and Cameroon. The CEO of SMS Ghana, Alex J. Brown, pointed out energy crisis and structured national and local laws as hindrances to setting up enterprises.
In our business, currency affects us in a way, instabilities. It also affects the our cost of purchases when we wire money out to our aggregators and our partners outside of Ghana.
Dignity DTRT Limited, a Ghanaian-American partnership formed a little over a year ago. It is a clothes and apparel factory that employs 1,500 people and produces 15,000 T-shirts a day for the United States market.
Challenges that we have are to do with our space because we want to expand. The numbers are growing. Unfortunately, we have only 2 buildings and we need to move into other buildings. so bad that we don't even have where to store our fabrics. We need support to train. It's very expensive to train.
Entrepreneurship ambassador Jean Case encouraged companies to employ more women to create gender balance.
All right, so at this point, if you love your mobile phone like I do, then let me introduce you to one of the latest on the market, which will satisfy your needs definitely. Now, LG has launched its latest addition to the LG Electronic G series. That's LG G4. The flagship G series promises to offer stiffer competition this year to other phone brands.
In creating the LG G4, the designers took inspiration from different sources to create a user-friendly smartphone of the 21st century. The phone has an 8-megapixel front camera with flash and a 16-megapixel back camera. This gives the G4s an exceptional visual experience, high-quality camera display, cutting-edge and crisp images. The LG G4 has an internal memory of 32 megabytes, a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, and weighing just 155 grams. Chief Executive Officer of Nanatel, Kwajo Choi, said all the features of LG G4 makes it a true must-experience product.
If you compare this brand, this G4, as you will have your hands on it, I call it's a must-experience product. Unless you experience it, you'll never know. Just knock the phone if you want to switch it on. And if you want to close it, also knock it. How do you knock it? With a double click with a finger like this. And it comes on. And then if you just double click, it goes off.
According to the country manager of LG Electronics, Ravinder Singh Neji, the LG G4 is unlike other phones on the market since it was inspired by artisanal precision. The G4's premium back covers comes in metallic grey, ceramic white, shiny gold and genuine leather.
We have the best camera, the front camera image and the selfies is much easier to take. So in any case, we say it's very convenient. The design, it's a curvature design, gets you a good grip in your hand. Plus, you can take on and off from the back,
All right, so shout LG and I'll tell you life's good. Let's look at the stories, and if you're expecting remittances, then the president of the Western Union, Jean-Claude Farah, says his outfit will partner mobile money transfer outlets in Ghana with a view to expand and remain competitive on the job market. He was speaking at a news briefing here in Accra to mark the 20 years of its operations in Accra.
Saw it as an opportunity, and you see us partnering with many mobile network operators, and in the future you will see even more of that happening. You will see maybe a mobile application of Western Union over which on your phone you can be sending money regardless of the operator that you are working with. So for us, mobile network, the mobile money transfer is a new way of how people would like to receive or send money, and this is certainly a way that we will harness and we will leverage as Western Union leaders in the money transfer industry.
Since the opening of its first office in Ghana in 1995, the Western Union network has grown, covering more than 50 countries on the African continent. Western Union has served more than 17 million senders and receivers with a choice of 120 currencies. However, Ghana is only a receiving market for Western Union, but management assured of working with the Bank of Ghana to expand its operations.
But you would be delighted to know that we have met yesterday with the central bank, and this was the main topic of discussion. The openness that I have sensed at the central bank makes me confident that this is something that will be coming soon.
Earlier, leading management members of Western Union presented a plaque to ADB, the bank which offered Western Union services for the first time in Africa. Managing Director of ADB, Stephen Koji, underscored the financial gains after partnering with Western Union. Later, management of Western Union moved to EcoBank to launch the account-based money transfer. This transfer service is expected to allow customers to receive Western Union money transfer through an EcoBank account. Western Union completed 255 million consumer-to-consumer transactions worldwide, raising its financial threshold to $85 billion last year.
Interesting times with innovation. I just pick my mobile phone and I can receive my Western Union on it.